was real, but the gravity keeps pulling me to you. Wasted moments, thoughts we left unspoken, hiding away every truth. Can't deny what I feel for you. In this gravity, I know I shouldn't feel the way I do, but you keep pulling me to you. In this I feel lost, I feel lost, I feel like I'm losing control. This gravity's consumed us all. Waiting, wondering if our love was real, but the gravity keeps pulling me to you. Wasted moments, thoughts we left unspoken, hiding away every truth. Can't deny what I feel for you. In this gravity. If our love was real, but the gravity keeps pulling me to you. asleep. I've tried avoiding this, but my emotions overcame and took all that I have, all that I have. I'm coming clean. I'm not ashamed to feel what is alive and still very real with who I am, with who I am.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Try that again, Cap.
Hello.
Oh, there you go. See, I push one button and instantly you have audio. It's wonderful. Guys, we've got DotaPit EU. Stark going up against Hellraisers. It's the first game of the European series. We'll be kicking off in just a little bit. We're still waiting for our last player to come in from the Finnish team, Stark. So, yeah, waiting for them to rock up. And then we're good to go.
And waiting and waiting. It never stops.
This
the
is
waiting
Dota.
game of commentators.
This is Dota.
Seriously, if you want to become a commentator, though, know that, like, I don't know, how much time do you think we spend a day waiting for our games?
It would depend.
Because if we have breaks, say, any Chinese game, there's an hour break between
it's
series.
Time, Cat. It's time.
All right.
It's time.
I'm done talking.
All right.
Time for commercials.
We'll be back.
Sell out.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Hi everybody and welcome to DotaPit. You thought it was over. We did what did we
did all of Southeast Asia.
And we did all of America.
Almost all of America.
That's true. There's that one big exciting game to see if Dota Cinema will be able to qualify.
And it's a really
for
good
anything.
game too.
I mean,
DC versus Elite Wolves. That's like
You know
North
all
America
about
versus South America.
You know all about facing elite wolves, don't you, Cap?
No, I don't, Toby. I know about facing X-Unknown Elite Wolves. Unfortunately, I did not have the honor of facing them in the open qualifiers because I got dumpstered by the other Peruvian team.
What a shame, Cap. What a shame. You could have been a contender. You could have been amazing.
Next season, guys.
Yeah.
Next season.
Yeah, next season. Well, let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens here. Start of Europe. I believe we actually have, let me just double check. Yeah, there it is. There is our grid. So we have two groups. We have Group A as well as Group B. This game is coming out of Group A. And it contains Team Liquid, Alliance, Power Rangers, Stark and Hellraisers, as you see, as well as Team Empire. So as far as this group goes, it seems bloody tough, Cap.
Oh yeah. This is definitely a tough group. I would say that these two teams are in my bottom two, actually. If I had to like just look at the teams, just based off of my predictions right now, I would say these two teams are 5th and 6th. But the thing is, I don't want to take away from these two teams, and I don't want to take away from the viewers' expectations of what we could see out of these two teams. Because the thing is, we're in a new patch. All that needs to happen is one team to hit their stride as both one, a team and playing together and stuff, but also playing within the patch, and they could actually do very well. So both of these teams have potential. Stark GG, obviously known for a lot of their team play. I think they've got some pretty good synergy for a tier 2, tier 3-ish team, and they're led by Boogie as the drafter, but Trixie is obviously the veteran player that you look to that has a ton of experience behind him.
Yeah, and he's played with a lot of these guys for a very long time too, so that's obviously where a huge part of their synergy comes from. And you're right with a whole bunch of, like there's a lot of tier 2 teams out there which you wouldn't think would stand a chance. Like, how many people coming into the qualifiers for the major thought the Team Spirit would come out on top?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's one of those teams where Godblack read the meta perfectly. Like, a lot of people also said, like, Valve, they just tried to find another reason so they could directly invite Alliance, just by changing the patch to being what it is now. There's a solid reason. Like, how much you really want to say WCA? That swayed the decision.
Guys, how do we bring Alliance back? Well, I don't know. Let's make Lone Druid a totally OP hero. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I saw Nigma's build on Lone Druid. That looks legit, Cap. It looks no bear build on Lone Druid.
No.
It's almost as good as the no breathe fire build on DK.
Oh yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, what a time. What a time 2014 was where we saw a build like that. Was that 2014?
I might have. Yeah, it should have been 2014.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a little while. But Dota also,
Dire team ban.
especially now with the major system, I don't know what it is, but it feels like time goes by so quickly.
It does. It's either that or
We're getting old, Toby.
Well, I'm already old.
This is true.
I know that.
10 seconds.
You want to talk about the picks?
Well, we could. I could talk about a 22-year-old friend who said to me today,
remaining.
30 years isn't that old. I'm like, yeah, you talk to me in 8 years' time.
You talk to me in almost a decade from now.
So, I have lived, like if you want to add 50% of your life on again, that's how much older than you I am. Perspective, everybody. You don't even remember the first 10 years, do you? The part of your conscious life.
You know what it is, Toby?
What is it, Cat?
What we need to
Cat.
do
What do we need
is they say the thing is the older you get, the time goes by faster, right? And the reason that is
5
because you're
seconds
experiencing the same things over and over again. So your mind just sort of like kind of cuts those moments down because you've experienced, like you say, you're doing the same job over and over. You're experiencing the same
I need
things.
to experience
so you need to experience new things. Yes.
That's it. I'm going bungee.
Yes, go bungee jumping, go travel around Asia for a year or something. Leave TI to me. It's all good, Toby. I got it under control.
Wow, are you pulling a blitz here? Are you pulling a blitz?
Yeah, Toby, go pro, man. Go
if
pro.
you can't instantly become number one, just get rid of all the other competition.
I mean-
Synderen, yes, you should make state gaming. I'll even coach it for you guys. Like, you'll be great. You'll be amazing. Don't show up to any major, Synderen. TI, you'll qualify for it, Synderen. You're gonna be okay. And Valve is just gonna be there going, hey, Blitz, like we're gonna slash you right now.
We're gonna what?
Slash you.
Oh. Slash. Oh, Jesus.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh.
Haven't thought about that.
Yeah,
in a
that's
very
what
long time.
2016 is. That Toby can bring
5
callbacks
seconds
to
remaining.
slush jokes.
Hey, I'm happy to
All right.
joke
So
about things
the
now.
draft
Reserve time.
Yeah.
is pretty important, Toby. We
It
haven't
is.
talked about it at all.
We haven't. We've been terrible casters,
Important
obviously.
things have happened. First of all, Chen first pickup. In European Dota, Chen is real big right now. He's an excellent hero. We saw it through our own run through the open qualifiers that Chen is amazing. And he's one of the heroes because pushing is quite strong right now. Any kind of jungling heroes is going to be pretty valuable. The counter from Hellraisers, though, was, I think,
10
pretty spot on.
seconds
They
remaining.
picked up the Lone Druid, who identified as like one of the most OP heroes of the patch right
5
now.
seconds
If
remaining.
he ever gets through the first 4 picks, without being seen at
Reserve
all
time.
on bans or picks, I'll be super surprised in the European scene if that ever happens, just because he is so powerful. And he's also one of Trixie's heroes. So they actually take that away from him, as well as another big Trixie hero, the Bat Rider. Bat Rider's had a good amount of success lately. I feel like he's a pretty dominant offlaner, and Trixie has actually shown some pretty good success with it in the past. We now have the Mirana picked up, which is definitely one of the more interesting ones that I've seen so far. I don't
her
know.
combo with OD has been so crazy as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of different combos that work really, really well with Mirana. One of them being the OD. You're absolutely right on that. Another one is
Radiant
actually
team
the Ember Spirit. Ember
Really?
Spirit is super good because you're able to sleight of fist chains, hold the hero there from a distance.
How long is that stun duration again for Ember? Do you remember the time?
It's like 2 seconds.
Okay.
It's enough to be able to, like, if you have good communication, throw arrow at him now. I mean, slight chains is like instant if the hero's by itself. So
10 seconds
I just know
remaining.
if anything else can really combo to a 4-second setup.
5 seconds
It's 4
remaining.
seconds worth of imprisonment from level 1
I speak for the
for an
champions.
OD. Like,
that
that
is
is
the other
crazy.
hero.
Entire team ban.
I was like, there are 3 heroes in my mind that Trixie would want to pick up as an offlaner in this meta: Lone Druid, Bat Rider, and Nature's Prophet. It's actually going back to, again, the Alliance meta.
I don't mind as well having an Nature's
10
Prophet in
seconds
this game.
remaining.
Normally, like you look to see who's going to be able to push Nature's Prophet
5
out of the top lane.
seconds remaining.
Ancient Apparition will be able to harass him, but only when he's got Chilling Touch. At all other points, like the Nature's Prophet's going to get the space on
Radiant
him.
team
Like, you can
ban.
have Vision, you've got harassment against Ancient Apparition, and you can't deal with that. And Mirana's not really that great at dealing with like a Treant spam as well. So Trixie should be okay on that off lane. And even then, like, how long is he going to stay up there? Like, you got a Zvin and a Chen.
10
Like, pushing in the
seconds
bottom lane
remaining.
is not going to be a difficult task. And the counter push from Hellraisers,
5
it's not
seconds
terrific.
remaining.
Like, unless they're going to run like an off-lane Lone Druid, then they could pull the creep wave
Reserve
back.
time.
But is this a 1-position or a 3-position Druid?
I'm looking at right now. There could actually be some sort of aggro tri-lane pickup by Hellraisers. I'm not too sure. The interesting thing
Dire
for me
team pick.
is that I think it's more likely to be a 1-position, but they're going to run some sort of aggro tri-lane with Pugna, Ancient Apparition, maybe Mirana. I'm not sure. Limits the Mirana's roaming potential, maybe, but I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out as time goes. One of the important things but about the Mirana pickup is that it's a good counter to Chen now because it instant kills a creep, right? So you could just arrow
10
Chen
seconds
creeps
remaining.
all day long. Really great pickup in that regard. The mid is the next. Oh, maybe not. Is this
Radiant team
mid
pick.
Pugna, 1-position Lone Druid, off lane Doom?
Would make the most sense unless you want to push the Doom to the safe lane.
Or
like,
is
with Doom
Mirana a
versus,
core?
Doom versus Prophet's not that shabby.
Yeah, Doom should do. I mean, he's low on armor. That's the bad part, right?
Yeah.
He's got this excellent regen, but he's low on armor, so
But
he
if-
is susceptible to the physical
If you get
damage
something like a
harassment.
PMS early on, pulled a couple of consumables, and then they just run Druid,
10
Mirana, AA off
seconds
lane.
remaining.
And then the Mirana can just rotate and help out the mid lane. Because the Crepify is also a
5
setup for the
seconds
Mirana
remaining.
arrow. Like, the slow is going to be enough depending on who's the mid for Stark, which is the last unknown.
Reserve time.
Yeah, this matchup really did not go the way I expected it to. I see. I expected something like this out of Stark. I expected them to go more late game with their pickups, because the way these two teams match up against each other, Hellraisers has been like super fight oriented. You're talking about heroes being picked up like Enchantress and Razor. Like they picked up a Centaur at one point in time. Like who's picking Centaur? You know, Hellraisers is. They love their fighting, and that's kind of the heroes that they tend to pick up. It seems in this meta. Whereas Stark, I think either go one or two ways. I think they either go some push oriented strats, or they go for better late game. And I think that is to their strength. I think that they are a pretty decent late game team considering, you know, where they're ranked at. So I kind of expected them to you know, facing HR to go, okay, let's avoid their team fight as much as possible, and let's actually just push this
Prepare
late game.
for
And
battle.
with their initial pickups, it seemed like it was all pushing power. You know,
Yeah.
you see Chen, you see Sven, especially very mid-game dominant, pushing style hero. I was looking at this going, you know, what the hell? I didn't think this was going to be the plan by them. Now with the Ember Spirit, if you look at Ember Spirit Furion as a combo, they're better late game than they were, but I still think that the priority is going to be mid game and push. I don't think you want to go late game against a Doom, Ancient Apparition, and Lone Druid.
It's kind of weird though. Like you go mid game push and you still pick up something like an Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
Like, is this the point where you? I can honestly say you bypass going for something like a Battle Fury because it's just so good on an Ember Spirit. But do you go for like the early phase treads? Phase Aquila drums.
Yeah, there's like some conflicting information here, right? If you're going to go push squad, why did you pick one of the worst high ground pushing heroes in the game in the form of Ember Spirit? Why did you pick up Ember Spirit against a Doom in the first place? You know, Doom is the counter to everyone, but some people are more limited by the Doom's presence than others, and Ember Spirit is definitely one of those heroes. You know, why did you pick that up? You could say that the push style that Stark is kind of going for here is benefited by certain carries that come online around the 20-minute marker that have a serious amount of fighting strength to them that can kind of combat HR at that 15 to 25-minute marker that they're I would say typically pretty strong at. And Ember Spirit is one of those kind of cores, right? He picks up max out Flame Guard. He goes in with this really powerful damage over time snare in Searing Chains. He has this insane mobility, and he's actually very powerful with that basic skill set. He doesn't really need many items. It's only until you start going 35 minutes that you're like, okay, where's your Battle Fury? Where's your Crystallis? Those sort of things.
Well, if he
But-
can feed off the Pugna, he's going to get these items pretty quickly.
30
Because
seconds.
as far as just like the head-to-head matchup of a Pugna versus of the Ember, like, there seems to be a lot more opportunities for an Ember Spirit to take out the Pugna. Because Pugna's got no escape mechanism. What's he going to do to Crepify himself? Then you just move forward with Flame Guard and just wait on your Searing Chains. Seems to be a lot of things that could work for Stark's lineup if they can get those early pickoffs, and then Hellraiser just have no real answer.
The battle
Because
begins.
Hellraisers, for me, like I look at their draft, I'm like, well, where does the aggression really kick out from? Like, if you don't hit the arrow, what else have you really got? Like, you got a Doom who can blink in and start off with his Doom, but that requires him, one, to get a Blink Dagger, and two, kind of requires him to almost carry around like the Centaur stun, because they don't have any real stunts. And they're running the Druid as the offlaner, so they are going to prioritize the farm into, well, I would say Doombringer, but right now Undershock is going to be taking out that top lane.
No.
And Doom's going to start in the jungle. Or at least just pick up a Frost Armor creep.
This Murata is going to have to, I think, get a lot of work done. She's going to come in, arrow the creep. Oh, that's mine now. Thank you.
How is
Goodbye.
that balance? That just seems so stupid as well.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing, right? Because Chen is going to farm by clearing through the smaller creeps. Gotham is, I think he's dead.
He leveled up Arrow to start with. Just
might
2
have
more
to-
attacks on a concussive.
More? Oh, no,
he's-
he's got Fairy Fire.
He'll turn for the arrow though.
Yeah.
That's going to give him a couple of seconds stun. There's still Decrepify as well as Nether Blast available too. So Afro Ninja can just turn this one around as Varlix. Back down the tree line. He's going to try and juke the Fog of War. Quick salve will give him enough life to escape back out. But it's still burning a lot of money. Wastes a little bit of time with the Pugner. But a good chance for 2 sides to get first blood.
Fairy Fire is such a weird item.
It really is just a denial of first blood. Like, it's instant regeneration.
Yeah, combined with the overall meta change where there was 50 HP increase to all heroes, it just limits the power of early first blood potential. You know, these kind of like ganking style heroes. The mid lane definitely feels a bit more secure because of that.
Undershock's going to try and crack here at Trixie. He picked up a haste rune, and with Cold Feet and Chilling Touch, he should actually have this one. There's not enough damage now from the Chilling Touch, and Trixie's just waiting for the timing on the Troll Traps. Nemphy's moving up, and Trixie trying to juke it around, and he can't get denied out. Ancient Apparition will take the first blood. He's still got a little bit left of this haste rune. And Nemphy's going to move over, but he doesn't have a sight. He doesn't have a the Sleight of Fist, so he can't get in range of Undershock. So first blood goes the way of a solo AA.
I'm keeping a pretty close eye on the matchup between Mirana and
Trixie,
Chen, because it's such a weird way to do this.
he wants revenge. He might be able to claim it as well if he can keep these trees blocking him up. Unfortunately, he's going to hit by the Cold Feet, and the trees can't do much more now. So he TP's up there to try and get a crack at Undershock. Yeah, but sorry, you were saying, Cap.
Just the weird way that Mirana functions against a Chen. Because he's doing nothing really but sniping out Chen creeps, and he's getting a lot of experience for it. In fact, he's staying ahead of the Chen. If he had, if his last arrow had hit the Dark Troll Summoner rather than the Chen, he would have secured himself to stay ahead. But I don't know what his plan is beyond that, if he just continues to feed off of the Chen constantly, or if he tries to put more pressure on these lanes. As you can see, he just tried to put pressure on the bottom lane, see if he could snipe out Boogie once.
I'm actually waiting for his rotation over towards mid. Like, right now, the Radiant wards there are pretty weak. Like, they got one ward watching the top rune area, and the other Radiant ward they left in the bottom lane as a more of a defensive item. He's actually sniping catapults now. Because obviously arrows can do that, but they don't see the rotation into mid. So if you do want to bring an arrow in towards mid, he's got a combo to work with now a level 3 Nether Blast up from Pugner.
Under attack.
It's funny how, like, I would say 70% of support TPs in the first 10 minutes of the game are for TPing mid to refill the bottle.
Hey, it works though.
Yeah.
Like, it completely balances out your mid lane, or imbalances your mid lane. That arrow, like, after you just threw one down a bottom lane, the TP came almost instantly from goddamn to top, and he only barely missed Trixie. Like, Trixie didn't really see it coming because we did hit nighttime, so he's got less time to react. But he was just lucky he was on the right line and dodged it.
Lone Druid's doing pretty well for himself. He's now hit that critical level 5 where he can actually kill supports quite easily, but
Radiant's
he may
top
be
tower
caught
is
here.
under attack.
The Prophet's TPing in as well. They get the Troll Trap to start with over the Lone Druid, seal him up, and
my
wow! Okay, that's it's a little bit of quick damage onto a Lone Druid.
Yeah, you amplify everyone's magic damage by 30%, which includes certain nukes like the Satyr's 160 damage Shockwave. A squishy hero like the Lone Druid doesn't really stand a chance.
I still find it beautiful that a Storm Hammer is actually a magical damage attack,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Magical hammers.
even though it's a hammer. Obviously.
I mean, he brings it out of... Oh, he's not carrying a hammer right now, Toby. And I would say it's pretty magical when he pulls it out of his ass and throws it at an enemy, you know?
I can't deny that logic, Cat. I'll agree with you.
But it was a good time for that gank because they got Lone Druid before he was level 6. Level 6 very critical for LD because of the big boost in survivability he has with that ultimate. And then also they got him when Lone Druid actually has kill power against the Skywrath Mage. If the Skywrath Mage ever positions himself poorly against the LD and gets rooted at the wrong time, he's pretty much guaranteed dead because that physical damage rips through Valak so quickly with no armor.
God damn, you didn't want to have that happen. They just scouted out where he put down that observer ward so Stark shouldn't fall for HR's maneuvers. Nemphy's already feeling a little bit of pressure coming towards the mid, and that's now why the trees and Trixie will be moving down as well. In fact, as she rotate Valak's in, and goddamn, he's going to get sealed so he can't jump himself out of here. With the Wrath of Nature also kicking in, goddamn's going to die.
Think of it.
And that was really the last gift of this observer ward that's already done a lot of work on the top river for Stark.
Valak is going for maxed out Ancient Seal build this game. Will have a lot of value versus Mirana and Pugna. The rest, I'm not quite so sure if the silence is more valuable than the nuking power of your Q.
Maybe he's also just thinking about how much amplification, like you said it before, like he does increase his amplification with every level of that Ancient Seal.
Yeah, with the magic damage, a lot of magic damage coming out from the Ember Spirit in particular. I think it does host a lot of value.
It'd also be crazy too when you look at a Doombringer. Like, Doom's got... he's going to be almost near the top net worth. He's at 3,100 at the moment. But if you can actually seal up that Doom for a long time at the start of the fight and keep him out, that's even more room for Stark to move around during the fights.
It's interesting, the Yellow Warrior...
Trixie's dead.
Oh,
Trixie is most definitely dead. That's a 5-second stun. Combining it with Cold Feet and Chilling Touch.
You fence me in.
Very simple kill. And another good arrow. And maybe they didn't see that dire observer what I thought they did.
No.
Or else Trixie would never have been standing there. Nemphy's going to have a bit of a jump as he's lucky not to get hit by that arrow as he jumps back into goddamn. There's your seal and control. Afro already starting off with the drain and Nemphy is forced back out again. They really need to find a way to stop him from doing that. But if you use seal to get the kill, like, obviously you got no other choice.
Something to talk about is the fact that Yellow Warrior, I'm not sure if pressure is really what led him to this decision, but he maxed out Scorched Earth first. Now, that is not a problem for offlane Dooms whatsoever. I think, you know, most of the time you're going to look at your survivability mechanism and try and max that out first. It's such an efficient build-up. But if you're a safe lane farming Doom, I think maybe you consider going maxed out Devour. Just because it does speed up your farm so significantly. 10-second less cooldown on every single level, an extra 25 gold as well. If you have the mana to sustain, I think Devour maxed out on a safe lane farming Doom makes a lot of sense. And can make sure that you get to that Blink Dagger, Shiva's, AC, or whatever build you're going to be going for on a Doom that much faster. But he did go Scorched Earth. Maybe that was just because he wanted the extra damage to pressure the Furion, because I don't think the extra healing power was really needed in lane. It also gives you a little bit more jungling power as the Doom, I think. And this is something that is fairly common right now in the meta because most teams either have a jungling hero right out the gate, or they have a hero that is able to rotate in the jungle relatively early, which frees up space for the supports because there is a lot more power to supports than the last few patches due to certain items like Glimmer Cape being picked up, Guardian Greaves. There's a lot more ways that the supports can their presence can be felt in the mid to late game. So you want to put more value into their farm early on. So a lot of times you're going to see those lanes open up for supports to get key levels. Like Ancient Apparition is a clear winner. Oftentimes you always want to give the lane to him around the 7 to 8 minute mark so he can get his level 6 that much faster.
Yep. And that's when Doom can do what he's doing now. Is it still worth bypassing and like points in Infernal Blade? Obviously it's one of our newer abilities to Dota 2.
I think you want to get a value level of it in the next few levels, maybe at 8. Just for the mini stun.
That's he played Trixie.
It's very
Until he gets hit
nice.
by
Oh
the
no!
arrow! Under shock! The leap forward, goddamn! Okay, he didn't really want to do that, but what he actually ended up doing as he moved forward, he body blocked up Undershock, which just bought enough time for Trixie's triggers to get into range.
No
Now
way.
Trixie, he's going to start the TP. Oh, he got a War Stomp is there. Doom will stop the TP out of Trixie. He almost got away with murder with a bit of help from Goddamn.
Great arrow, though. Gotham is playing this this Mirana really well.
Downside for him
I've
is that
been-
this is the first bit of experience he's gained the last, well, it's actually been 4 minutes.
Yeah, ever since he stopped pressuring the Chen so much, he's really fallen off in experience. That was the thing that was most interesting to me, is how much time he was going to spend trying to put pressure there. Because most roaming Miranas, unless you're just doing really, really well on your arrows, are going to
Radiant's
fall
top
behind in
tower is
experience
under
quite
attack.
dramatically.
Dire's bottom tower is under
And that's
attack.
pretty significant for a 4 position not to have that global escape mechanism for your team from Moonlight Shadow.
Nymphy.
Oh,
Arrow's going to
Nero.
connect with the Ice Blast as well. The TPing extra support with the Chilling Touch damage. They're going to kill off the Ember. He really thought he had a kill in the bag then. But he had no support. Right now, Okesia is just farming up inside the Radiant jungle. He just power leveled himself up 2 levels and a crap ton of money.
Yeah,
Radiant's
Stark are
middle
not
tower is
playing,
under
I would
attack.
say, very well around these arrow rotations. This is the thing, is that pros get used to a certain kind of meta, a certain kind of style, and heroes that have fallen out of favor, you get really rusty in dealing with them. And especially very specialized heroes like Mirana, it's such a unique playstyle to be against. You'll just oftentimes forget how to do it. You know, you'll forget, okay, I need to remain passive at these sort of times or look out for these sort of
Radiant's
things.
top
So
tower is under attack.
Stark is getting caught way too much, and this is really bad for them because Hellraisers are going to hit like a big power spike at like 20 minutes. Because look at their heroes, Toby. Think about the idea of Doom and Lone Druid pushing down a lane with a Pugna behind them. A Pugna who's going to have mech as well. That's infinite sustain. He can heal you up constantly via mech. He can also throw down life drain on those allies, making what is traditionally very tanky heroes 10 times tankier than they already are.
And it seems a little off as well, because Stark just can't get the initiation until something like this happens. Sharslot just out a little bit too far. He's still in bear form, but he doesn't have enough life to survive this, especially when Trixie comes in. The arrow will connect over on Boogie, and goddamn, oh, he doesn't want to go any further. Like, my question was going to really be, like, without that initiation, but then you just realize just how far the Arse Hammer can reach. I like your analogy.
Well, unfortunately, his ultimate's run out. Oh my god, Yo
dude.
Warrior, hello.
No!
Goodbye.
That's it!
Wow.
He ran in, but he had no one else from the rest of his team ready to go.
He charged headfirst into death. I don't know what that was.
This was a, I got face boots, I got level 4 Scorched Earth. I should be invincible, right? Like, he's a Doombringer, but that got nerfed pretty heavily.
Yeah, one of the biggest strengths of Stark's lineup is actually the Skywrath Mage and the intense amount of nuking power he gives, which is obviously going to be necessary against a team that has so much tankiness to it.
So, run away to the safe lane. Sure, that'll work. Undershock, he has to hide behind the tier 1. With that bad engagement on bottom, you can see Stark already looking to pressure into the tier 1 tower on top. Having Nymphy in the neighborhood, this is more like what
Dire's
you'd expect
top
from this
tower
lineup
is
of
under
Stark,
attack.
where they're able to move in
Radiant's
pairs
middle
and then
tower has
have the 2
fallen.
heroes which can easily react into a lane, just come back. But they add pressure onto a different lane, forcing Hellraisers to split themselves up, and they got to split themselves up in fourths.
Lone Druid, fair and balanced here. Oh!
Dire's top tower
Doom
is
almost
under
went out on
attack.
the Ember Spirit
He
there.
started Scorched Earth.
Yeah, probably just helping to clear through these.
And then instantly Stark just play cat and dog.
But yeah, Lone Druid, pretty fair and balanced hero. Guaranteed tower last hit against any melee hero because he just Savage Roars you. That's what he did mid. He just was like bodying the tower and Boogie tried to go for the deny. Nope, Savage Roar.
Okay. I was questioning a little bit about, like, because I thought you were right. Like, with Stark's 20-minute timing, it could be amazing for him.
Dire's
Especially with
middle
Boogie
tower
going for
is
this
under
Helm of the
attack.
Dominator. Looks like he actually just changed his mind. Didn't he just buy... Okay, either that in my mind, I thought he was buying a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, this is the build. I actually lost
This is the
because this is the new build for Sven's. I lost because an
Radiant's
ally
top
went
tower
this
is under
build
attack.
very stubbornly and very clearly needed initiation and early fighting
Radiant
power. But
structures
Sven's
are
nowadays, they
fortified.
go Helma Dominator, S and Y. They stack up the Ancient Creeps. They get a really good amount of
Dire's
farm
middle
because of
tower
this.
is under attack.
Because they usually have
Dire's structures
enough
are fortified.
experience to get higher levels of Great Cleave in time.
Nymphy, you were lucky to dodge the arrow, but he won't dodge the Doom. Poogie's going to come in, looks for the stun. Actually going to get it over on Yellow Warrior. Was able to run himself back out, but with the orb as well as the Wrath of Nature, he will survive. As that mech is already up for Afo. Trixie can't find his target now. He'll just start his TP out. Goddamn. He'll also TP out to safety, so no casualties of war throughout the fight. Becoming very close for a lot of players, but it's still Hellraiser taking that top tier 1 tower.
Yeah, that was Afo coming in with the clutch mech to save Yellow Warrior. Good TP in by him, but this did buy space for Shochlo's and that's probably the most important thing right now. So that, I think, was beneficial to Hellraisers. If they can, which they have been doing pretty damn well so far, as you could see from the counter wards being placed, Hellraisers did throw out a ward blocking out the Ancient stack very early on, so it's only a 2 stack right now after the counter wards removed the ward. In fact, I want to say that counter ward that they placed, it might block the... No, it doesn't. Never
The one on the hillside shouldn't.
The one on the right
Radiant's
side, but
bottom
it's
tower
not. It's
is
not.
under attack.
Gotta go back into that custom game for the hitboxes.
Yeah. It's that shrubbery on
Dire's
the
top
top left part of the
is under
chair.
attack.
That's the line.
That little guy right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I can
that
draw.
guy.
Why don't I
Yeah,
draw?
That guy.
Dire's top tower.
So
is under
Hellraisers now,
attack.
you've taken out 2 tier 1 towers. You're about to get pressured inside your jungle by both Nymphy as well as Valix. Hellraiser's already backing the hell out. Like, do you just rotate down the bottom lane, take out the tier 1 tower, knowing that you're just going to get split pushed out by the Prophet?
I think the Lone Druid can handle the Prophet's push pretty well, and he needs to just sit back and farm right now anyway. Hellraisers, I think their biggest strength is the fact that they do have this early mech, with the Ancient Apparition having good levels, and the Doom being just a beast once he's got matched out Scorched Earth. They should just be looking to get 4-man engagement.
They're coming bottom lane. Chen Army's going to get caught down here, but well, that's not really the problem. Is Trixie losing his life so quickly? The Chen won't be able to TP out in time. His position was revealed for a moment, just because the Netherlord
Dire's top
struck him
tower is under attack.
when he used his TP scroll. But
Dire's structures are
Hellraiser couldn't
fortified.
reach him in time, so Trixie dies, but his acceptable losses. Especially when you get a tier 1 tower in return.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Yeah, it's going to
under
be
attack.
a tier 1 trade-off. I think it still benefits Hellraisers. Stark are going to be kind of
Radiant's bottom
expecting
tower
these sort
is
of losses in trades, though, because they have heroes that are much more farm-oriented. With this
Dire's
build
middle
on the
tower
Sven,
is under
combined with the
attack.
fact you have an Ember Spirit, you have 2 heroes that need quite a lot of farming time, I would say.
Yep.
And I guess when I initially
Radiant's
looked at the
bottom
Sven, I was
tower
so
is
used to
under
him
attack.
being like, oh, early game, you know, pushing power plus fighting, etc.
Dire's middle
But
tower
Sven's
is
in this
denied.
patch are actually a lot
Radiant's
more late game
structures are
oriented than they
fortified.
were before.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They won't make it to late game at this rate.
Dire's
You just had a
turret
Greaves
has
just
been
transferred
killed.
him. You lose the courier on the way back out again. But Chen getting
Dire's
decrepified. The
top
Tomb,
tower
he
is
can't
under
do anything about this. The Chen army is just in the middle of this whole engagement. With the Ice Blast coming forward, it's going to help and in fact ensure the kill over on Trixie. They just had the stun to set up from Goddamn. And now the entire Chen army will in fact die as well. Not an easy thing to rebuild.
I don't think Trixie is going the right build for this game. Maybe I'm wrong. The fighting power of the Orchid is going to be pretty damn limited against HR, because Apo's going to have Guardian Greaves, so he can remove the silence. There's one hero automatically you can't target. Lone Druid is probably not a hero you can target in this game. Who the hell cares? Doom most likely is going to be already using most of his abilities. Scorched Earth at the very least before you're able to throw Orchid on him. And possibly Doom as well. And at that point, he doesn't care about the silence either. So then you're just left with the supports, where it's always going to be effective against supports, but it's not a game changer.
Oh, the Doom's become a little bit tankier since we last met him, but he's still not tanky enough. Trixie was TPing in to help out, and Afo actually completed his TP. The arrow's going to miss as Valix goes on a little bit of a roundabout run, and he will dive for this kill on the Doombringer. Pugner actually, he's worth a hell of a lot. That Skywrath was a 6-0. Like, that's an unstoppable streak he just ended. That's some good money.
There is a huge difference between these two supports on Stark. Unfortunately, the early pickup of Chen has actually turned against Stark pretty dramatically since the full lineup of HR was revealed. Chen hasn't been able to do anything really against this kind of lineup, while Skywrath Mage's value has gone through the roof. His huge tank, or huge nukes eating through these tanks. Now they'll get shot.
Now they're going to try. Are they trying to get both? Like,
oh god, Savage Roar! Oh, very balanced hero! Let's give one of the tankiest heroes, hardest heroes in the game to gank, and an extra escape mechanism.
at the same time, like the early stun which they had available was the Dark Troll Summoner at that point.
Oh.
And they used it over on the bear. I don't know. It felt like Stark were trying to get both the bear as well as the Lone Druid.
Yeah, probably. Maximizing value if you can get the 300 gold plus experience on the bear.
Problem is that you have to at least kill like the hero or one of them.
Yeah.
Ended up not killing either.
Yeah, you eat that creep. Yeah, between an arrow, between Devour, like, Chen just has no value. Plus his...
Between two Midases?
Like, his... Yeah, also his, like, sustain that he brings to Stark GG's lineup isn't really valuable against an enemy team that has more sustain than me, just because they have tankier heroes. So, despite what I was saying earlier on, which Chen is the hero, HR did really well exploiting that first pick.
Volix is trying to look for the Observer. He's going to find one right now.
Oh, that is combine a Midas as well? Huh.
What,
Look at that. You've got 3 different abilities from HR that instantly one-shot a creep. In fact, if he has 4 creeps, he still loses because there's another hand of Midas on Undershot.
Oh, they found Undershot. God damn. Can he give him some space with the arrow?
Nice
Nemphie's going to dodge it. Undershot will die. And Trixie already used his TP. The Observer will let them see where Goddamn is, but they can't chase him far enough. Or maybe they can when he turns around like that. Volix is right behind him, so Seal can cast a shot and Orb all flying at him. Now allow Nemphy to get in range for one more Sleight of Fist to get the kill. Mystic Flare doing most of the work before the Ember gets in the last.
HR really not taking advantage of the space that they had there. You can't afford to be losing 2 heroes and also not be pushing a lane. Looks like they'll catch Valix, though.
Until he gets sealed up. If the bear can get an entangle right now, it's only going to slow up Valix. 2 hits and still can't find it. Decrepify also not the greatest synergy in the world, and in fact that Decrepify allowed OKC time just to take him back to base.
Yeah, this time Starker showing how to use that space.
Committal.
Yeah, good force staff use there, but also the Savage Roar.
Always got to keep that eye out for the Savage Roar.
The Vlad's pickup from Yolo Warrior, I understand it, but it's slowed down his Blink Dagger quite a bit, and that means they've lost a lot of time where they could have been pressuring the Ember Spirit better.
It was the timing though, like, because they got it at the same time as the Greaves arrived for the Pugna, so they probably just thought, okay, at this point we just 5-man move it. When you lose those 2 heroes in a side lane, that timing just gets pushed back. So yeah, I can understand his build, and he has the Blink Dagger now anyway. So they got the initiation.
Yeah, you're about to get Radiance on the Spirit Bear as well. For Hellraisers, they're looking pretty damn good. Stark have to push this, like, super late game if they want to be able to win past 45 minutes.
Can they even really push this super late game? It doesn't feel like they've got the heroes that will win out against Hellraisers.
Yeah, it primarily comes down to initiation. Ember Spirit is like one of the best late game heroes just because of the fact that he can sit so far back and continually get Sleight of Fist damage out on you. But again, just one Blink Doom and he's kind of screwed. So
yeah,
the new Doom does not have a way to break through Lincoln Sphere by himself without an item to do so.
Because he doesn't have the level death anymore.
Yeah, they changed out level death for Infernal Blade, and that was a bit of a nerf to Yolo Warriors Doom.
Warriors of the wood.
I'm actually kind of surprised to see the Doombringer still here. Like, haven't really seen the effect of the Infernal Blade.
Middle tower is under attack.
I think Stark, their best time to take control of this game is probably in the next... It's either now or once BKB is up on Boogie, which it looks like they're going to wait on that. He's got a stack to clear through. That'll bring him very close to BKB. Once they have that item, they really need to take control of this game. Because on its current trajectory, I don't think Stark win late game, just because they're not in a good enough position economy-wise.
Well, Okay, the question I was going to ask is, do you want to commit Doom? Valix will burn.
Yeah, Yellow Warrior hasn't had a better opportunity to use Doom, so I think it makes sense to use it there.
It's going to be a while before they have another engagement. How long we got before next Roshan too? Just over 2 minutes before he's going to potentially spawn.
Yeah. The biggest problem is that HR, now that they have Radiance on Lone Druid, are going to start... Like, in times where there's, like, no kills going on, HR should always be climbing a net worth over Stark. Because of the fact that there is a lot of efficiency in the way that you Radiance farm with Lone Druid, where you can push out lanes with just the Bear without needing a hero. You also have the Doom with his Devour mechanic, always staying ahead of you as well. And then I guess there's some farm efficiency as well with the Mirana arrow.
So we're about to try and kill with it. Your first observer ward from goddamn scat out the fact that Boogie was just farming inside the jungle. Now they bring the bear over 2 swipes and he can't get himself an entangle. There's still no Doom available. They just devour up one of the Chen Alpha Wolves and keep the pressure on.
Yeah, Yellow Warrior ended up blinking into the trees accidentally, so that kind of scoot up their gang. But may give them the opportunity to push this tier 2. They need one person to defend top though. Can't afford to let the Furion ever get free damage on your tier 3. In fact, giving up the tier 2 earlier was bad enough. They also need to, again, they were doing it early, but they haven't been doing it for the last 15 minutes now. You got to control that ancient stack. I've seen Boogie get, I don't know, anywhere from like 5,000 net worth purely from that ancient stack.
They tried once, so they came in for 1 ward, then it was D-ward, and they haven't tried again since. Nice time to have an Empress Rune kind of break the smoke. And the gem carrier, well, who'd they actually put that gem onto? Did they lose
got
it
him.
before?
Is he gonna die here? The Orchid Pop? Yeah, he's dead.
Nice grab, Trixie.
Ooh, the Ags on the Ancient Apparition. That's a pretty damn fast Ags.
Why was the gem not on Stark? I was searching for it that entire time because I'm thinking, oh, well, the gem carrier is a little bit further back. That's the reason why they don't see the Doombringer.
Maybe just some sort of miscommunication. Maybe somebody brought the courier to them but didn't have the item slots for the gem.
They might be keeping it a little bit more secret, though, but it's... Because the gem was picked up by the Chen. But he's not holding on to it at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense if you're going to go for a smoke gank like that. It's the perfect opportunity to take control of the map and scout out their wards.
Yep.
Like, even if you don't find anybody, at least you're scouting out wards while you're traveling together. So, I'm not sure about that.
They're definitely going to, like... And you're up against a Mirana. Like, Moonlight Shadow is a horrible ability to play against when you got no reveal. This makes life a little bit easier. Boogie for the double stun. He can actually get both the bear as well as the hero.
Oh, nice
but again, Decrepify. It's going to cause some problems here with a 4-star farm too. Lone Druid. They just try and push him further and further away, but the Mystic Flare is going to do the work. They find the first kill there. And again, they're doing this, like, all without the gem. But they had the sentry ward down. That's why they kept the vision to start with. Moonlight Shadow tried to protect.
Pugnet's about to get Ags plus level 16. So that'll be a pretty significant upgrade if he can use it correctly.
Wondering what the range is on, like... Does Stark have enough? They have more than enough to kill off the bear. If you try and use him as like a high ground tank. Yeah. Is where my mind was going with it.
Yeah, I really thought HR was going to be able to keep Stark a little bit more controlled while also farming more efficiently. But they just haven't taken control like I expected them to at this point. There seems to be not a whole lot of pressure being put on Nemphy. He's freely pushing out lanes constantly. I expected his farm to be quite smaller than it currently is because the fact that Doom is in the game with a Blink Dagger. I didn't expect the Sven to be able to get so much value out of Ancient stacking, and same kind of applies to the Furion in the way that he's been able to push out lanes as well. So unfortunately, HR haven't just been able to lock down Stark, and they are going to lose out in the farm game if they can't control these heroes better.
Interesting decision by HR. They just burnt one of their smokes while they were right on top of the Radiant Catapult. I say Radiant Catapult, it looked like a deceiving one, because it's controlled up right now by this Vence Helma, the Dominator. And watching Roshan so closely, which is what HR have been scared away from.
Shen's got no issues putting himself on the front lines.
Well, he's the guy at least with the... Well, actually no, he doesn't have enough survivability. If he gets hit by that ice blast, he's going to die pretty quickly.
Shivas will come in soon for the Doom.
Wondering how much of a real effect that's going to have. It can at least keep the Chen army as well as Nature's Prophet army back. But beyond that, like I'm still looking for his damage, like ways to control up the Ember Spirit. And the Doombringer is basically like blink Doom onto Ember, and if this Ember does get to a Lincoln Sphere, he doesn't have anything else that's really going to be able to break it. So he requires like a different item. Wondering what else he could even get. And what's got a good range? Okay, here's your blink, jump, Doom. Arrow flies forward. It's going to miss absolutely everyone, but the Ice Blast will connect on the Sven. The Pugnar's actually the one to kill him. It goes into a one-on-one trade-off. The Chen army trying to buy a little bit more space, but that range on the Pugnar and the ability to fight from inside the invis of Moonlight Shadow, giving a superior advantage, but at the same time, like, oh,
yeah, that's what I expected right there from HR. They have better initiation. They should be able to get like these initial pickoffs or render a hero useless via Doom. I felt like they could have been putting a lot more pressure on Stark, preventing all this farm that they were getting. They finally get the fight that they need, which will allow them to take Roshan, but Nymphy isn't going to get this up so easily.
they can go for that Sonic Fist, but he doesn't have enough damage. They're still just a Battle Fury Ember Spirit, and no real spirits to work with. He slides a fist, but he can't actually grab it. That's going to be the Pugnar's Aegis Immortal and was killed by the Dire side.
Yeah, he knows that with the Doom on cooldown, there's nothing that HR have to actually threaten him. So he can play really far forward into a Roshan pit scenario like that and harass the enemy really without fear.
But it does exploit one, like, it shows one big thing. It's the fact that he doesn't have damage.
Yeah.
This Assault Cuirass is almost done for Shashlo. And with that being done, Hellraisers and Aegis the Immortal, they can just run down the lane. Like, I'm looking at Trixie, and I think he's actually building into a Lincoln Sphere over on this Nature's Prophet, but he won't be ready by the time Hellraisers push. And that's still, like, for me, the biggest problem. The fact that Hellraisers can go right now, they can just run down mid lane and take this fight. Like, wait for the Doom maybe, but that's 22 seconds.
Yeah, wait for Doom, wait for AC, and I think you're right. At that point in time, they will push in. Not the Crystallis. Nymphy chooses the Blink Dagger instead. He knows he can really abuse his mobility if the Doom is on CD, and if he has the Lincolns given over to him by the Furion, he can abuse that even further, but he's still lacking in damage so much. Boogie is going to make up for that, but Boogie is like, his kind of damage is full committal. Right, you don't get damage out from a Sven without fully forcing the engagement.
Chen army's being brought home. Lucky to escape that gank. Boogie now blinks up. Shashlo. Now the God Strength is up, and he brought his bear in, so can cleave both of them at the same time.
Oh, we got the bear too.
Yeah, he did.
That is actually, I think, super lucky.
Does that actually even... so he got 800 gold according to the system, but does that even include the gold he got from the bear?
Radiant's top tower is
Unless it
under
was
attack.
Van that picked off the bear. But no, they both appeared with yellow numbers.
Yeah, they both appeared with yellow. I think it did include the launcher bear. Wait, did they?
It had 300 on the bear and 800 on the hero.
Dire's courier has been
That's what came above it. Trixie doing Trixie things.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Not crazy, right? They didn't change it, so if you kill the lone druid hero, get the bounty from the bear.
No.
There's no way.
No.
So that was
Dire's
just
middle
maybe a
tower
really
is
weird
under
mechanic,
attack.
where the cleave kills both at the same time.
It's weird though. It
into
shouldn't function that way.
Yeah, it's...
'Cause the second the hero dies, the bear should die as well.
Yeah.
Unless the the damage would have to be done like a millisecond before, like to the bear a millisecond before. But
I
actually,
believe
no,
in
that
Warcraft.
would work because with a side of fist, he would have jumped to the other side first.
I believe in Warcraft 3 mechanics, the hero, the damage instant goes first onto the hero, and then the cleave secondary. So in those sort of scenarios, I think the bear would die from lone druid die. But maybe Dota 2, the mechanics are a bit different, that the cleave happens at the same time.
Or
so
Shashlo was just killed by
you can have scenarios where the Spirit Bear dies from the same hit that Lone Druid dies from.
But when you include Cleaver, because it was the Ember Spirit, so like he came and he slayed a fist. Like the bear was so low, just one basic attack onto the bear, without including the cleave, would have killed the bear and delivered the death blow to the Lone Druid.
Maybe he did kill the yeah, that's probably what happened. It just looked like he hit the bear.
Yeah. We can slow it down and have a look at it later. For now, it doesn't really matter.
They got some issues though on Stark. I mean, it was a good pickoff, but
it's still the same underlying problem with Hellraisers, the fact that they can just run at you.
Maybe, I don't know, they're being really skittish.
I've only got 1 minute left of that Aegis too.
Yeah, I can't believe that we may see the Aegis just take out.
Are they waiting? Because if they wait any longer, like they'll have the BKB in maybe 30 seconds for the Pugna, but then you've got 30 seconds worth of an Aegis. You can't force anything in 30 seconds.
Yeah, again, I don't know. I mean, if you're not going to push towers, at the very least, control the map better so the Sven isn't getting so much farm value out of the Ancients. Like, he's going to have a Daedalus soon. It's like this self-fulfilling, like, prophecy / vicious cycle where HR are afraid of the Sven damage, so they don't go into the team fight, so they give the Sven space, so he's getting even more farm to increase his damage, and it's just like, it's getting worse and worse as HR gives Stark space.
You're almost being like your own worst enemy right now with that Observe Ward up. They want to kill off the Doombringer before the fight begins, and they're able to do so. The Ice Blast's on the way in, but who's it really affect? The Chen, as well as chilling up over on Nemphy. He doesn't get the sun over on Aphro, but Undershock's getting picked off in the tree line by that Skywrath Mage. And a huge opening. The Observe Ward made so much of it work. And Trixie was also watching him too. He was up there with the Shadow Blade.
Yeah, they didn't get that, they didn't get the gem to pick off that ward. And that was obviously hugely important, right? Whoever gets the initiation first is going to win the fight at this point.
Aphro proving just how useless that Orchid is over on Trixie.
The seeds of fortune.
His Lincoln Sphere, though, gives so much survivability to Nemphy. Nemphy just goes ham right now. He's going to blink over the arrow, which then hits Boogie at the back lines. The Skywrath Mage just killed himself over on the Nether Ward. Maybe not realizing that one was down on the field. The Stormbolt will be able to buy a little bit of space, stunning up that bear, but yeah, Skywrath Mage was really not ready for that at all. Having that stun over on Boogie was also not part of the plan.
Oh man, that wasn't even a level 3 Mystic Flare, that was just level 2.
Trixie
575 mana.
Easy pick off. Trixie was too close to the tier 2 tower, and during night time he didn't have the vision up towards the tower, so as a TP in, blink forward and doom.
Yeah, YOLO Warrior's farm is not where it should be. Like, the Sven is too far up, and the Doom is not far enough up. Like, I was looking at this and kind of like theory crafting, like how HR would be winning this, and I felt really confident about that 25-30 minute marker. I really thought, like, okay, they put pressure on Stark, they get a farm advantage, they're just naturally going to get more by controlling the map with these heroes, plus double Midases. But they
found something.
They weren't able to institute that plan.
They found Boogie. The arrow, though, is going to be off target, so Boogie.
Yeah, they can't kill Boogie with just these two heroes. Unless they get like a 5-second arrow. I think he's just too big.
The 5-second arrow, then you can have the Ice Blast. That's always there to help you out.
Yeah. But if they're doing that, it means they're not at bottom.
And they're not pushing.
YOLO Warrior has to back out.
Like, what are they going to do? Wait for next Roshan? They're actually at a point now where if they go into a clustered area like that, like the Prophet will always scout it out, and this Ven can just cleave your entire team.
Do you go Ags
for who?
on Doom now? Because his farm is not great. And you also already have an AC. Like, typically this build would be Blink, Shivas, and then Assault Cuirass. But you already have the AC on the Lone Druid Bear. You're clearly not going to be farmed enough to be a like powerful right-clicking carry. I don't see him actually being like, if you're behind the Ember Spirit, you've got issues.
That's exact.
So maybe he banks on the Ags upgrade and just being able to lock out one hero for so long.
Problem is, I don't think he's going to survive that long, even with the stats from the Aghanim Scepter. Because I'm just... Okay, he buys BTs for now. But the only problem, he's just going to get shredded.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it might even just be worth getting something like... I don't even say a heart, because that's not going to stop this Ven from killing him. Especially now as you get a second Daedalus being done on Nymphy.
So the way I looked at this game was that it was a very back and forth in who had control at what time. I thought Stark 20 minutes, HR 30 minutes, Stark again at 45 minutes, and then I have no idea what happens past 45 minutes. Like, I thought maybe it was Stark, but I'm not sure.
Trixie. That seal.
Can he get the other?
There was no stun. They both get back out. And now Nymphy's going to try and punish up on the top lane. The bear's already there, but he does get the Searing Chains over on Shashlo.
Oh,
the BTs are coming in and Pookie.
Oh, wow!
The play, but the arrow hits on Nymphy. Pookie walks back into the Ice Blast. He'll start his damage and cleave. And
oh my god!
Apparition just deleted from the game, but Shashlo, he still finds the revenge by killing off the Nature's Prophet of Trixie.
Oh, Shashlo's going to get caught as well. Boogie has a blink up soon, but the Radiance is stopping it constantly.
Even if they just kill the bear, like the bear will just be worth
Oh no, the arrow hit the creep!
Ah! That camp, it couldn't have been there. Boogie's got blink off cooldown. He just
no,
them up.
Shashlo.
He had to run. He stopped to farm up the camp for a moment.
He screwed that up so badly. If you're running, you got to keep the bear on the Sven in order to stop his blink dagger pursuit. But then he turned and fought, thinking that Gotham was going to be able to get an arrow on Sven, but it clipped the creep camp instead.
Alpha, you're really forcing the issue.
Yeah, don't.
He's going to get sealed up, but it doesn't really matter because he can break free with the Greaves. But his nether ward he placed was just so far back. It's almost like he's just trying to buy time for the rest of his heroes to respawn without having to buy back.
Boogie can get like Satanic now to increase his sustain, maybe. He's got to use that Helmet Dominator anyway. But what does he go after that? You know,
Monkey
he replaces
King
S and Y for
Monkey King Bar.
MKB. Okay, yeah.
It's direct
That makes
attack.
sense.
Like you still got that Radiance issue on the field.
Yep, that's a smart call. So S and Y for MKB, Power Treads for bots level 2, Moon Shards.
Maybe it's just worthwhile just going into the Moon Shard. Because he's fighting under Radiance before. Like, you just trigger your BKB, you fight it hard, you get Satanic, you get your BTs, and you just go to town.
It may even be worth it at one point in time to trade out your Blink Dagger because you're going to have issues with Ice Blast, Pugna Wards, and the Radiance that you won't be able to use the Blink Dagger oftentimes in fights and replace that with like a Butterfly. Even the Flutter effect may offer you more mobility than the Blink.
Something tells me though, Stark does not want this game to go that late. Like, late game heroes or not, like, you're still in a bit of a tight area. The arrow's going to fly in as she helps him. The Ice Blast is way too short. It still will connect over on Nymphy, but there's no opportunity for a jump. Like, they even get away with the cheese.
They just left that one behind.
Obviously,
And
don't know it's number 3 or they just don't want it.
Yeah, their quick escape. They
They made the
left some
decision too.
perishable goods behind.
Like, Doom left his drums inside the pit in order to
Yeah.
grab that cheese, and
Courier
the
did
Ember
it.
could have done exactly the same thing. Trixie actually had an item slot free.
Yeah, at the very least, kill the cheese if you don't have room to pick it up, you know.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're going to have a couple of problems down the road with
Leave
that.
the enemy nothing. Give them no quarter. You know what? That's a very common theme in actual war.
What, giving no quarter?
No, if you are retreating from a scenario, never leave behind something that the enemy can use.
Yeah. Blow it up, man.
Yeah, it goes as recent as like modern wars, like the Korean War. Very common in the Chosen Reservoir when the Marines were leaving behind. Oh, goodbye.
And Gem, another one to add to the field. They're going to find a target up on
wow.
top. It's going to be Afro.
This
Paul
could be-
starts himself forward, but he still can't get himself out of the Sprout, and Boogie moves forward.
what?
Attack! Whoa, hang on. Did he just break it? Well, they go for the Doom. It's over on Boogie, but he is more of a man to tank it. He just has to avoid the Ice Blast. By continuously running, he's able to do such a thing. Now they know the Ice Blast is down as well. What happened to that Pugna?
I don't know how he survived through that one like sleight of fist hit. That was kind of weird, but HR, I think they just straight up lost the game from that.
Oh, Boogie.
Oh, God.
He's going to get locked down with the Abyssal Blade, but now he breaks free. Undershock's going to get completely nuked down by the Skyrest Mage. And Doombringer, well, there's the cheese that will allow him to survive for now. Benefi's just focusing on that bear. There shouldn't be a resummon. Actually, there's one up in 1 second time, so we can have another bear for now. But they got no control on the Ember Spirit. The Linkers from Trixie just continuously coming out. Now they jump forward again. And how long do you want to stay here? The tower gets picked up by this Kai'Wrath Mage. The arrows are just barely missing. Trixie will start his TP out. Varlik's actually getting stunned, so he won't be able to complete his TP out to safety. But you still took a tier 3 tower, and it looks like... Okay,
Ember Spirit may die.
Get rid of the gems, 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 and get the courier out of there. Okay, they lost both the gems.
Alright, so Ember Spirit also lost his Aegis out of that. That was, man, that Ice Blast was a beauty. That's what that was. I really thought that Hellraisers just like straight up lost the game. Yeah, maybe they would like limp on for a little while. Obviously, they'd be able to like defend, but I think that like one misplay was going to cost them too much for them to recover. But because of the fact that they managed to pick up a couple of things there, they got a couple of supports. They took away the Aegis of the Ember Spirit. What they really need to do now, though, is capitalize on the positioning. Because they have 2 supports down, they need to try and get a pickoff on that Ember Spirit with Doom. And that's in 20 seconds time. If they can get the pick off on the Ember Spirit, like all sort of becomes right in the world for Hellraisers, and they make up for that misplay earlier.
Well, looks like you're right. That is going to be an Aghanims build coming in for the Doombringer. Unless he's got other plans for that point booster, but Aghanims makes the most sense. So lockdown control for Hellraisers.
Boy, I don't know. Maybe Hellraisers just feel like super confident with their late game positioning, but I've been watching this game and I'm always thinking like, now's the time to put pressure. Now's the time to move out and try and, you know, get that pick off or get whatever. And
but every time they do, they end up getting slapped back by this Ven or some kind of combo with the Emperor and Prophet.
And I'm never really sure, like, is it me making the wrong call? And maybe HR are more secure in the late game, or if it's just because, you know, they can't see their position from, like, a spectator view, you know?
Well, overall, they don't look in a great position as far as money goes, but when they have things like, they still have the extra gems, though. Like, if this Doom blinks up...
Find Trixie. Oh, no, they're not going to get him! Wow. They get nothing out of that. That was so bad. They don't have another smoke for 9 minutes.
Is under attack.
That actually means that they may not have smoke for the next Roshan. In fact, it means very likely they won't have it. So
they're just gonna get split pushed out now. Like, there's no way for them to engage. Like, if you even move as like 4 or 5, you can't move as actually you can't move as 4 anymore. Because if you do that, there's too many ways that you can just get picked off by Stark. So Stark will capitalize. You're getting a full Mjolnir pickup on the Nature's Prophet. And that will allow him just to force down side lanes a lot quicker. If any kind of momentum is built up by Hellraisers, it kind of gets cancelled by the Sleight of Fist of the Ember Spirit.
Yeah. This is why initially, when I said like super late game, that Stark will have the advantage. It really comes down to initiation and stuff, but I think like the standard play is that Stark will have the advantage because of the fact that they have so much mobility, and there are too many ways for them to win, essentially, right? They can win a team fight via Sven and Ember Spirit being beasts. They can have the split push game successful. All HR past like 15 minutes really have is the pickoff. Like, they have to get that critical initiation on the Ember Spirit, lock it down, get that kill, and then go from there. And that's the only way that they can win, I think, super late game. I'm not... At this point in time, you can't push high ground as 5 against an Ember Spirit because he spams you out too much. The Furion always split pushes you.
Who needs smoke when you have Moonlight Shadow? Do a classic Han style, man. There's the reason why Valkyrie was picked up. Where's that blink?
Oh. Dire's top
Where's that blink? All they're going to do is find the Chen army, and Moonlight Shadow will run out, which reveals HR's position. They're being pushed out in the top. This courier is going to... Nope, they can't even see it. They never warded the hillside. They had no vision of it. So it just grabs the full Satanic and drags it back for this Ven.
Permanent damage on the range, Rex. It has begun.
The day of the rat. It has returned.
What is the upcoming Chinese New Year? Or we are...
I don't know. I don't believe it. It's 5 or 6. No, not year.
Yeah, it's early February. But what is the upcoming year? I'll find out for us.
If it is the age of, if it is like the year of the rat.
2016 is the year of the monkey. So all you monkeys out there.
I don't really know how we can make that. Trixie, you're in a wall of hurt. Lincoln Spear's going to trigger, and now they actually do him to stop the TP out. So Trixie's down for just over, or just under a minute and a half.
Oh, Apple, that was super close. Nymphy knew he was up there and went for the sleight of his chains. Didn't end up getting him, though. That could have been a pick-off or a pick-off. But yeah, you get the Furion, but you're immediately being split-pushed by the other two. Now they're going to lose Undershock in the mid lane.
He's got no buyback. He spent his money on a refresher orb. I'm not certain how I feel about a refresher Ancient Apparition.
Bottom is missing. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
There's so little
structures are
survivability that comes from that. Is double ice blast worth? Afro. Okay. He force-staffed himself into that one. Now it's going to BKB.
has fallen.
They could keep this chase going, but the TPs are already out from Stark. They won't be caught napping. And they won't even kill off the Chen army. Hannah goes too easy with that, with the Aghanims upgrade already up. Yeah, but what do you think about the refresher on AA?
If you don't have any other items that you desperately need, I guess it's not a bad choice.
I just would have preferred to see something more like a Scythe, like more control than Ember Spirit, which is already severely lacking.
Yeah, but in the way that,
Yeah. Moonlight Shadow, but he's dead. TP out won't be in time. The bear can't help him either. Snow is 84 seconds without the Doombringer. Trixie trying to hump this bear down. The Sharslow's managed to drag it back over. If Trixie sprouts right now. Okay, there's got him. He gets hit by the sleight of fist, but he's already out with a leap.
this may be a forced buyback on Doom. What? What?
He threw an arrow which
Yeah,
was
he
like a
misclicked.
millimeter behind Trixie, and then ran back out into the Stark lineup.
That was a huge misclick. And now
Boogie's even just going to
this
go
is a
directly to the
buyback
bear.
and a 4 versus 5.
They protect it, but... Well, Doombringer now. Yep, there is your buyback. Roshan's going to respawn right now, too, so if Stark want to, they can just bail out. Like, Nymphy can push out the top and then come back down again, but if they scan out the Roshan is alive, Boogie's still got a little bit of end of that gold strength, but he's not going to look straight away. So they can't really make the most of it. Nymphy is at the point now where he can buy a full, like he can go into the Monkey King bar or he can go for a second Daedalus.
Oh yeah, going back into it, the way that Undershock is playing this Ancient Apparition is very traditional. Actually, in this current patch, you'll see a lot more Ancient Apparitions go for like early Force Staffs rather than this very traditional Hand of Midas, Aghanim Scepter build, which is just all about your ultimate and nothing else. We're seeing a lot more combat-oriented Ancient Apparitions. And if that was the kind of build, yeah, maybe Undershock could pick up an item that has a little bit more value in that regard, like the Scythe. But because Undershock is placing so much priority into Ice Blast, I don't think Refresher is a bad idea necessarily.
Just one of those things. Well, Roshan's dead. HR can't get there in time. The arrows are flying in, but they're all too short. The Ice Blast is already expended. And cheese, guys. Remember the cheese. Volix will take it this time around. But don't leave it behind. Not quite sure what Goddamn's trying to achieve up here. It's almost like a bait dust. A golden thing that you have to walk towards, and then he gets the kill. Fun new upgrade as well. Well, I say new, it's kind of part of the older upgrades, but definitely going to help with the split pushing and pressure relief of HR. The Aghanim Scepter now for Lone Druid.
Oh yeah.
So this bear is a lot more willing to fight. He's still got that Hand of Midas off cooldown, which isn't too terrific. But he's going to make Stark look behind themselves. And this kind of quells a lot of the effect that comes from Nature's Prophet. Because it's not just a Radiance burn, it's a proper pushing bear now.
Yeah.
Like, it is a 6 hero now for HR.
Yeah, part of the problem though is it's a pretty weak hero this late.
Moonlight Shadow They really want to come out. But Goddamn's not in a great position to get a good arrow off.
Yeah, look
like
how
he's just
quickly
so
they get
far.
up there.
He's like, okay, now he's getting further away. The Ice Blast hits perfectly. Varlik's actually in a lot of hurt. And Boogie, he gets hit again. Now the secondary Ice Blast going to catch Nemfi, Boogie, and Trixie, just continuing that duration.
But they aren't pushing out. That was a total miscommunication there between the supports and carries. If you hit an arrow like that and you commit the refresher secondary Ice Blast, you go in. There's no question about that. But supports and carries on different page there.
I'm actually going to surprise you. You committed the second Ice Blast directly into the fight. Like, if you could force Stark to TP back to base, you throw another Ice Blast down there and you got a better chance of getting a kill.
Ice Blast, Fountain Ice Blast, you should never be hit by one of those because you'll always see the marker coming in.
Okay.
From your tower vision. So is that the play?
Here comes your Ice Blast. Doom jumps forward. They're going to get rid of that Lincoln Sphere, but they do get the Doom over on top of this Sven. So he's backing up. He's sticking down too low. They try and send him back to base, but nowhere near enough time to do so. And now your Sleight of Fist goes to work. Apo's in trouble. He can't drain as fast as he's dying. And the Orb will chase him down. Now finally that Decrepify will wear off. They still haven't got rid of the Nether Wall, but they don't really care because they're just bearing it through. Nemfi, finally he'll drop as the Aegis Immortal on the beating Sven. He's coming back to the fight. They want to try and take a Rax here, blinking down. If they can get this kill on Apo, which they probably can, they definitely can. He's down for so long. There's 2 minutes on the sidelines after that buyback is expended of his. Doom cannot buy back into this game. The Lone Druid can, but right now Lone Druid doesn't have a bear. So he's basically nothing. And GG, well played. Game 1 will go the way of Stark. The Finnish boys will be off to the... Well, that'll be the first team in all of Europe to claim a win here in DotaPit.
Yeah, pretty well played by Stark. They went for the playstyle that I expected them to go heading into this series. I thought they would try and make this more of a late game challenge against HR, and HR definitely suffered. They seem to have a lack of vision. They didn't feel terribly directed in some of their mid-game actions. They seem like they were a team that likes fighting and wants to fight, but when the enemy team doesn't give them a fight, they feel a little bit lost and not sure what to do. So HR definitely got to figure out a better plan, maybe pick up a lineup that's more objective-based, because they did get 2 different carries that need a decent amount of farm. Maybe they do need to go a little bit more early game and more push-oriented, so they force Stark to actually engage in those kind of mid-game fights that HR like.
At the same time, like, you almost want to go back and say, like, they did have an objective-based game. Like, you're sitting there going, like, 20 to 30 minutes, this is going to be the time to play. And then one thing goes wrong or 2 things go wrong, and then they kind of scrap that plan and try and go for a plan B, which is a weaker alternative up against Stark, who are just being really patient.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Things didn't work out for HR in game number 1, but we'll have game number 2 after the short break, so stay tuned. We will return.